this computer. Okay, we should be recording. I need to have the audio announcement. I don't know why it doesn't do that. Okay, so welcome everyone to the May 26th iteration of the live Hangout. This is the normal community meeting. A link to the meeting notes is in the chat. It is everyone's shared responsibility to take notes. Also note that the contents of the chat will also be saved and published along with the video after the call. Thanks everyone for joining. So please enter your name. If you're on the call, please enter your name as a contributor in the meeting notes. Okay.
John, let me interject here. Before we start the work in the agenda, can we just say to everyone here and to the world, happy 25th year, 25 years of Java. Java celebrated it on Saturday, and it seems proper that we say, hey, cheers with tea, coffee, whatever you have in there, to Java 25.
Congratulations.
Okay. So congratulations, Java. It's just a reminder for how old I am because I started Java the day it was announced. I'd like to say I'm 25, but you know, tack another 25, 26 on there, whatever, you know, who cares?
It's super cool. Like, I think, like, I didn't do this before because we are so busy with the charter creation, but I think some of us, those ones that volunteer, should just like draft something into a blog and say, you know, like when you started Java, just 1 or 2 sentences, and then just go for it to make it like microprofilers into Java. When?
Hey, we're only 3 to 4 weeks away from MicroProfile being 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do we all get like a
pretty
pin?
crazy.
Do we all get to go sign up and get a gift or something for our 4-year anniversary?
Yeah. I saw someone posted on Twitter someone needing 15 years of MicroProfile experience.
Oh
I was like, darn, I only got 4. I'm not eligible.
I am hoping that it's 1.5, not 15. That would be absolutely. I don't want to be
standard recruiter thing.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Let's get to the call here.
Let's go back in.
So this is kind of a reminder that MicroProfile 4.0 has been delayed until July. It is recommended that people maybe begin candidate releases. Those are allowed. No major or minor feature releases are allowed right now, along with that includes core platform and standalone specs. Those are going to have to use the working group process.
I think the communication. Oh, sorry about that. I was going to say, I think the communication around that July date was that we don't know the date, but if people were saying, I can't do anything until I have a date, if you go past July, there's a pretty good odds that you're the one delaying the release.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know for certain when the working group stuff is done.
It's tentative, July 31st.
Yeah, I remember we said optimistic.
Yes.
Time frame. So I'll put that in there.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So we do have kind of a pricing model draft that we're sharing around with the prospective members. So we have been reaching out to prospective working group members.
Why is that topic under release?
It shouldn't be. I don't know why I put it there.
Can we adjust that? It makes me like, let's just drop anything that is charged. Can we do that?
I just started
Thank you.
jotting stuff down and it just got stuck in here. Yeah, here we go.
Vacation. You were in vacation.
I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, it's fine. But thank you.
Okay, so we still have the release tracking GitHub issue. So I'm not going to go there right now. But you are allowed to, to add any more features that you'd like to specs, but you don't have to. If you want to, you could start forming. What I mean, they won't be released until they go through the spec process. But just keep in mind that, it may not be a bad idea to just begin working on candidate releases, I think. Let's see here. I haven't looked at this yet. Roberto did create a blog post with messaging.
Yes, Roberto, you are here, right? We have finalized the review, and now Roberto has access to contribute on their MicroProfile WordPress. Thanks, Ryan, for that access to Roberto. And we have done, like, you can go in. There is a Git issue also in the process. You can go and see all of it has been processed, and just read for the tone. And it's everything pretty much of what we have talked on this community calls and then the working call about the release. The release is not going to happen because we need the working charter to be on, active, or like approved. So until that, everything else is on hold. Then on last week, we said that we will figure out if we need to be under incubation. That means only 3 members, corporate members, or we need to have 5 to start the releases. And you, John, and Kevin, we're going to look into that with Paul back and come back once we have the conversation on the working group. So please do, anyone that wants to see that draft, you can. It's there, we have a Git, but it's ready to go, and even the design is being adjusted at the moment. Thank you, Roberto, for owning the task.
Yeah, well, John, give it a look to see what you think about it. I tried to not go into too much detail because I'm pretty sure there are people that are not familiar with the Eclipse process or some other or some of the most logistics things behind it. So I just tried to be somehow clear and somehow how to say it, not like too heavyweight, to give too much detail and try to confuse the user. So that was the idea, at least.
Yeah, thanks again for doing this. I'll take a look at this after the call.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, please let me know if I mean, just do any comments, and I'll review them and I'll incorporate them. But feel free to reach out if
No.
if you need anything else.
Roberto, no reaching out privately. We use suggestive mode and we work in the open. So there is no wasting time. Everything is in the open. So, but Roberto did a really good job. It had been like through 3 rounds, and it's like we adjusted it, and it just, even the first draft was really good. So thanks, Roberto. I liked it.
Okay, next topic, moving things along here. Emily, you added open telemetry topic. You on mute, or did she step away? All right, I think I hear her in the background. Is she unmuted? I think she might be off in the background right now. Let's skip that for now and go on to the next one. Marketing, there was, yesterday was a holiday in the US, so I didn't join the marketing call that was scheduled yesterday. Not sure if there was
it's
a
okay, no one
call.
joined the marketing call from yesterday, except me.
Okay. Because here in the States it was a holiday, so.
Yeah. So I figured it was no one's going to be there, but I just hopped on just to see if anyone else wanted to.
Yeah, the call.
All right.
I have a question about, because we had a follow-up on last call that John and I attended with Ryan and a few other microprofilers. Ryan, John, did you give access to Ryan for the Zoom calendar so that he can start video recording the microprofile marketing calls?
To the calendar, I thought I did. Try it out. If not, then
Ryan, can you confirm later and just follow via the?
I'll take a look. I don't know how to confirm, honestly, other than being on the call and seeing if I can record it.
Yeah, you can log in
and
then you say record.
I'll just click the link and see what happens.
No, you got to log in with the password. That's what you have to do. So let's chat about that offline.
Perfect. Okay. I added it here as a reminder. John, give access to Ryan.
Sorry, I was thinking calendar, not Zoom. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's good. That's okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, and then up below is just some things that have been done and worked on from 2 meetings ago from the marketing. We talked about compatible logo and a member logo, or like a badge. So we talked about something being very simple and clean and pretty much just using the logo to represent it. So I came up with 2 options that match also with the branding, if everyone likes it. It's up to everyone, but it matches our pretty much branding pretty well, and they go well together. Would love feedback. If you want any feedback, please go to the ticket and just put it there and let me know what you guys think, or changes or suggestions or anything else. But yeah, those are there. This is a blog post that went out, and then one session that went out on social media last week, I believe. But
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for the update. It sounds like it was a highly productive meeting yesterday, and Ryan got no new action items from yesterday's call, which was awesome.
None. It was amazing.
Okay. So next, let's see, is Emily back?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was, I went away to answer my home phone. Yeah, so it's basically, I keep
Oh,
it brief.
I apologize, Emily. I introduced you to talk to the topic, but I thought one thing is, Ryan, have you, but before we switch, again, I apologize, Emily. Ryan, did you start any kind of thread about the logos in the Google groups? Maybe have
No, I did not.
Chat about
I
them?
just kind of updated the tickets and then figured on the next marketing call we're going to talk
Okay.
from there. But
right.
if we'd like to, we can.
We can discuss it on the next marketing call first, if you'd like.
Perfect. Yeah, let's discuss it then.
Okay. All right.
Oh, question related to these logos or, you know, brands or whatever
Badges.
you want to call them. So, and John, maybe this is just a question for you. Is this independent of what we're talking about for the working group charter? I mean, would we be doing these compatible and member logos even if you know, something was not required by the charter?
If we don't need them, then we don't need them. But if we do need them, we got a head start.
Yes.
Bingo.
Okay. Okay.
That was
So-
John,
Good.
go ahead.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Yep. So it's going
Yeah.
to depend on what we do with the charter and where that goes.
That is why one of the reasons is that why the tickets, the get issues have reached the forum already. I made sure that the first call that we joined, John and I joined in MicroProfile marketing, that we added the agenda that had all the things about the charter under the charter thread. However, we have not followed up or even asked Ryan to submit because we still do not know if it's required. If it's required, we will be ahead of the time. And that was John's, you know, feedback when he talked about it like 3-4 weeks ago. So this is just us being preemptive and proactive.
Okay, I'd like to get back to Emily. Emily, I really apologize for passing the baton and then taking it back. So go for it, Emily.
No worries. Yeah, it's basically this is kind of as you all know, we are trying to adopt open telemetry, the open tracing base. So, and then recently there's a kind of conversation in the metrics. So do we need to adopt this open telemetry metrics and etc. I just opened a Google group thread conversation discussion. I just want to bring up here so that people just go on to check out the discussion and add your feedback there. So I don't really want to use a lot of time here to discuss in more details.
All right, thanks for starting the thread, and
someone,
please create a link. If you could link to the thread too for future use. I mean, obviously right now we can go and look, but for future reference.
Yeah. When I mentioned that, I was I need to add a link there. Yeah, thank you.
We'll definitely take a look at it.
I'll just add to. I was just going to add. I mean, I think the other thing that has sort of started in parallel on this, we were taking a look over our shoulder at micrometer metrics, the one that's sort of more famous in the Spring world. So the thought wasn't so much that, you know, there's anything necessarily wrong with MicroProfile metrics, but we wanted to sort of see, are we still relevant? And if there's anything that we can do to sort of increase our relevance in MicroProfile metrics. And if that means looking at the other open source projects like Micrometer and obviously OpenTelemetry is unique in that we're trying to pull it in already, and it already comes with a metrics library. So we're trying to figure out how best to deal with OpenTelemetry's metrics and whether or not we should be doing anything in a first class way around micrometer metrics. So yeah, especially since we have a little bit more time on this 4.0 release, we're trying to take a moment to just look around and see if we're on the right track.
Yeah, thank you, Don. So I thought is one like thing is I did a Twitter, and I mentioned on the thread, I did a Twitter like the quick poll, and actually the MicroProfile metrics was kind of widely adopted according to the to the Twitter poll. Is a kind of 41% of the responses said they use MicroProfile metrics, so which is great.
With a small asterisk though next to your name though, Emily, being from the MicroProfile community, I know a lot of your followers are obviously from MicroProfile. might be a little biased, but I'm pleased to see anyway that there are lots of people who said that they were using it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good to know there's some usage.
And you know what, Emily? It was super easy for the MicroProfile handle to retweet you because you use @MicroProfile. For anyone here, if you want retweets of something valuable, please always use the @MicroProfile handle, because otherwise those of us that have access to the tweet will never see or get notified otherwise. I only have notifications from @MicroProfile. So this is something that we continue to remind everyone every quarter. But I really like that because it came immediately and it was so easy to just tweet. It takes a second. So
and it's awesome. @MicroProfile.io, correct?
Yeah, IO. Yeah. Of course, MicroProfile.io. But you know, I'm just being lazy here. Sorry.
Oh, well, okay. Oh, I need to know because I have to retweet this later. So, okay. So that's a joke. Okay, so that's I think all we have for the regular topics before we go into the working group discussion. So I guess with that being said, we'll step into the working group discussion. Again, I think this is probably going to be a little bit short. We are still discussing membership with prospective members. I did want to point out, hold on here, that we are working on the prospectus draft for members who can kind of take a look at what MicroProfile is all about. I suspect, many of us, many of them already do. We have a couple of quotes here, one from Red Hat, thanks for getting one from IBM. Be great to get one here from Tommy Tribe, and then anybody else that kind of plans to join MicroProfile. It'd be awesome if we can get another quote or two in there. Again, these are from members, so in order to get a quote in here, you would actually have to become a member.
Yeah, but can we?
Is there? You posted the link to this in the minutes?
Yeah,
to the entire slide deck. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
One thing is
right
when John showed this on the marketing call, I immediately created Git issues for IBM and Red Hat and assigned the IBM to Kevin and the Tommy Tribe to David, because he's a really good writer on that side. So there are tickets that you assign to each of the partners, and we only have currently 3. So the 4th will be, wait and see. So, just helping John on that side with tooling.
Okay, so at the moment we're again having some discussions with folks about membership. One of the challenges we're facing is basically budgeting for a lot of organizations has been severely cut back, if not halted, and we're trying to figure out how we deal with budgets being basically slashed for the remainder of the year. for most folks, right? Tough times. So that's kind of slowing things down a little bit, I think.
So John, that brings us to the topic of, is it necessary for MicroProfile charter to be considered okay to move forward with the releases with just 3 partners, or do we actually need to secure 4? Because it's complicated, super complicated.
We don't know yet.
We
That's
don't
the short answer.
Yeah, we don't know. So that is what Eclipse team said. They are not sure at the moment, or
no, it's 5. By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 3, but we need 5. We know
the rules are 5, and to get something into draft form or an incubator, I guess I forget the initial state, it's 3, and to leave it's 5, and we don't know what the status is on if they would possibly be an exception for 5. But I think it's a fair question to ask, but also we should try to get 5 regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, but one of the things that no one is talking is that we haven't seen yet anything that we proposed as a budget to the Eclipse Foundation. And I wonder why that document or the proposal has yet to get here. I know we are keeping it private because we're seeing if there is interest in trying to secure the extra 2 partners. But do we need that confidential actions still to this day? What is
well,
sharing?
there was a status given on this last week, and then we had a 3-day weekend, which I'm sure a lot of people took some time off. So why don't we give it a little bit of time?
Okay. Anyone else think that, you know, we need to maybe bring more transparency to this side of the topic?
Well, I think this is always a touchy subject, right? When it comes down to financing and budget, and it's the vendors that are footing the bill. So I'll be honest, I prefer that they kind of discuss it amongst themselves, because keep in mind, we're just representing companies. We aren't the decision makers for a lot of us. So it's probably better not to do that.
Oh yeah, okay, John. Okay, so allow me to correct myself. I didn't mean to tell the community who is MicroProfile talking, the partners. I am talking about what we have thought that is something that we can sustain as a budget for the MicroProfile project. I do believe that it's most important to keep every conversation in private, because that is what we do. It goes directly to the project itself and not about saving face. It's just correct. I am talking about what kind of budget do we think we can sustain? Is it going to be a one-off 1 year as we wrote it in the charter, or is it going to be yearly? And what if, like what are we willing to protect or not? This is my actual question, because I do believe that it needs to have broader conversation. And talking about budget is not complicated.
Hold on. So let's just get some. What's being discussed is an annual budget. But as John mentioned at the beginning, the complicating factor is getting additional budget this year because of the tight belts. So, you know, that's we got to figure out how to get something going with those restrictions, and it's not, you know.
Yeah, and just to add to that, Amelia, you know, from you know, being more transparent. I mean, once we do come up with something that is, you know, I'll just say semi-agreeable by all the various parties, then it becomes part of the official proposal. So that's what we're trying to do, is to get to a public proposal. And at that stage, you know, then yes, it's still open for discussion. It's not like it's cast in concrete yet. But you know, we don't want to throw out numbers into a charter that it's like, you know, we're miles apart on, because that just doesn't help the discussion. So that's what we're trying to come to, some semi-agreement before we put it into the proposal, and then it will become public.
Sounds wonderful. And I sometimes I think transparency gets misused, but in this level, you know, I always believe that budget and finances should be easy and open source to the cent, to the 100. Once MicroProfile has a budget, it will be a tab under the website. If it's not,
Absolutely.
we have a, everyone should know how we're spending the money and all these things. So I'm really, really happy to hear this, because though I might know the numbers, I am pushing for, hey, what are we not talking? And, you know, I'm not asking David or you guys privately. I am asking this in this community, because it's in this community call, because it's recorded, so that everyone understands and that it's tracing. And there is some logic and expectations, because we might not even know yet what we can sustain or need in the future. So it needs to be super consumable for those ones that might come in the future, and see that committing to support to open source can be done with resources, human resources, heavily, and instead of just finances. And one of the questions I have brought before is there any way we can have a member that is only choosing to add resources, coders, designers to the project instead of paying? Because when we talk about paying, what are we talking about? So this is all the things that I have in my mind that maybe are for later topic. And based on my conversations, actually, because some want to pay.
Yep. We have guest member status in our charter so far, and we have discussed that openly.
But for today's call, basically that's mostly what I have as an update, and that we're still having discussions and to fill out, you know, finish filling out the prospectus quotes. Then I'll go in and do another round of updates to that draft doc, and then we can, you know, use that. So that's kind of where I think we're at today.
And John, do you need help with the draft? Because I know you're still populating it, so I didn't want to go in with edit mode. But as soon as you think that it's ready for review, let us know. I will volunteer some of my help, some of my time on it.
Okay, probably by the marketing call, we can go back and review maybe. That's the next time we'll be on a call.
Yep.
All right, that's all I have for topics today. Are there any other topics anyone would like to bring up? 3, 2, 1. All right. So again, next week maybe canceled. Just depends on where we are.
Let's cancel it, John. I said let's cancel it.
Well,
yeah. Let's wait and see. I mean, we might be able to make some progress, and we could actually have a discussion again.
Yeah, let's just leave it there tentative, and in the spirit of getting people information quick sooner than later, if there is any information, stay on the ready.
Yeah, just check your calendar, and I'll remove it if it becomes pretty apparent that we won't be able to, that there won't be an update. So just again, check the calendar.
For the charter document, so then there is a topic that we need to adjust. We added the budget to be once off, but we need to adjust it to yearly. I do not know if that is done yet. I have not checked the charter this week or last, because it has in a standby. So we have said it's going to be yearly, and we had it one off. So that section needs to be changed. Do we change it now, or do we change it later?
Well, I actually don't want to change anything in the charter right now until we know what around budgeting, until we kind of have this finalized. Otherwise, we might go back and have to change it again. So
okay, sounds great. Then I'm off. Quiet now.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining the call. I will see you here maybe in a week, but definitely in 2 weeks. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
John, enjoy your vacation.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, back to the straw hat and the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
40 minutes away. Hawaiian shirt, there is fog. There is no sun today in California, but enjoy it. Bye.
All right. Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.